electrician, but it was a good job for the time. I worked there for 5 years. Before that, I was a dishwasher. I was at the lowest point as far as a source of income is concerned. But I set myself up to be doing well even if I was washing dishes or working at a gas station. Once I understood the scheme of life, and really through my parents, I think we all see the world through our parents first, and I realized it was ridiculous. Paying rent, paying utility bills, being in debt, it seemed unfair. And yet growing up in Arizona, being surrounded by Native American culture, I began to love the Native American ideas, and I thought it was a more fair and just way of life. The most basic things like land and water were not owned. And today we have governments who are supposed to care about us, and yet they don't give us land. And we're stuck in the rat race. We must rent a place. I rented my first place when I was 18. A little apartment in what must have been a hotel at one point, and it was in Flagstaff, Arizona. I paid about $350 a month, plus some utilities. That would have been in 1994. I had a good time. It was right by the train tracks, and one day I rode the train from Flagstaff to Winslow, and the train continued, and I took it all the way to Gallup, New Mexico. On the way back, it stopped in Winslow, and mind you, it was a freight train, and I was just in a boxcar. On the way back, I wasn't able to jump on a boxcar. I had to jump on a flatbed with a truck on it, and I just tucked myself under the wheel and the mud flap of the truck, and I was completely exposed. And when it stopped in Winslow, I was arrested. I paid my ticket a month later and received a trespassing charge. I was trespassing on the train, and I don't think I was hurting anybody. I asked the police officer after he gave me a citation how I should get home, and he told me to go down to that truck stop and ask a trucker or hitchhike. And I did. Got a ride with a nice trucker. He bought me Taco Bell. And I vowed to live like the Native Americans, or any free people. There are free people still today, living naturally as they have for generations. And these people are constantly threatened by the modern world that we live in. Their lands are threatened, and their way of life, and their water sources, and wildlife that they may be dependent on. Everything is constantly encroaching on the natural world, even here where I live. And for me, this is a worst case scenario lifestyle. I chose the worst case scenario lifestyle before the worst